Hello, today I'll discuss all the steps needed to apply for DDS program for international dentists. Now this video will be a detailed overview built up on my last video in which we'll discuss steps in more finer details. We'll discuss the number of websites involved to maneuver your individual steps, the costs involved, different pointers from me for each step. If you need a more general understanding of the process, then you must go back to my previous video, and I'll also link the video somewhere up here and put in the description box below. I'll also put some timestamps here so that you can go back and review a specific area if you wanted to. First step is Dentpin. Dentpin is your unique identification number that you will need for communication with different authorities throughout this process. The authorities will need this number to identify you. You can get it by filling a form at INBDE.org, and you get it instantaneously without costing you any fee. So that's a good start. So let's see how it works. Alright, for Dentpin, go to Google and type INBDE.org. Click the first link you see there. Now navigate to Education, go to Dentpin, scroll down. The page shows different uses of Dentpin, but all we are concerned about is to register today. So we click here, Register. This will open up the form. It's a general form asking your information like your name, last name. Here I'm typing my last name, but that's not my middle name. So last name, my date of birth, gender. Do you consider yourself to be Hispanic in origin? No, I'm Asian. Then is English your first language? No. Address, Cocomelon Road. Why not? Mom of a toddler can only think of Cocomelon. Alright, city, state, and of course your phone number and your email address. And then you hit continue. Once you hit continue, you will instantaneously get a Dentpin number. Make sure that your name that you enter in this form matches exactly how it appears in your passport. Second is ECE. ECE stands for Educational Credential Evaluators. This is a process to get your marks and grades modified into US credits and standardized into way US schools would understand them. Now this report can be generated by different services like WES and ECE, but I would suggest that you look no further than ECE because it is more widely accepted, and that's the reason, period. The report looks something like this. Now how do we get this? Let's go on to ECE and find out together. We want to type in ece.org, then you maneuver to applicants to US institution, you check further education, then complete steps 1 to 3. Step 1 shows which type of report you need. You need a course by course report. That's very important. Then step 2 gives you an opportunity to type in your country of graduation. That will tell you the required documents. Like for example, I chose India, so it gives me a list of documents that I need to submit to ECE for my evaluation. I need class 10th and 12th certificate. For my dental school, I need degree, diploma or provisional certificate, statement of marks or transcript, and internship completion certificate. If you've done post-graduation, you'll need degree, diploma, and transcript or statement of marks. Make sure they want either original, attested, or photocopies with fresh stamp and definitely in sealed envelopes. Now you hit apply. Then you want to create an account. Since you don't have one already, you will choose the option individual, select and continue, fill the simple form for an account. I will fill in my details to log in and start the application. We'll start with personal information. You want to note that they will give you an electronic copy and a personal copy will be emailed to you, and if you need more copies you will pay $30 extra. Then you fill out your address information. Preferably let the address be in the US. You can also fill out an international address. I'll fill out the same fake address I filled in my Dentpin. Of course, I didn't create a Dentpin with that account. I already had one account. And put in your phone number, and I'll use the cheapest delivery method. Hit continue. If you want to send this report to additional institution, you go back and enter the address of these institutions. I filled out for CAAPID just for an example and hit continue. Then purpose of evaluation report, further education, education selected, graduate level, continue, field of study dentistry, and then continue. Then I am looking at $195 for course by course report. Of course, it excludes the shipping fee. Then hit continue. Then it asks me about my educational history. So I'll fill out my latest one, and you have to fill out each and every educational history that you have. So country of education, institution, city, graduated, dates of attendance, degree given. Does your name appear differently? No. Yes, I want credentials to be evaluated. Save education history. Then you go on filling everything that you've studied so far and hit continue. Then it will give me the list of documents needed as we've discussed before. Then I check in. I have read all the instructions and document requirements. It gives me mailing address. I hit continue. No, I do not want rush services. So no rush service, continue. Now it gives me opportunity to review my application, my details, course by course report, report purpose, educational history, other deliveries. I see everything, continue. Then it needs my electronic signature. I'll type in my name and then submit. It asks for donation since ECE is a charitable initiative. Then I did not enter anything at this time, so I hit continue. Then the last thing is to pay, and I chose credit card, so continue and enter your credit card details and you are all done. The cost of this report is about $195 excluding shipping, so add another $15, it comes about $210. But you would need to go back to ECE if you want to submit this report to different authorities. But please you'll submit it to CAAPID, so it is $30 additional for each institution selected. Like you saw that you require documents to complete this report. So I would suggest once you decide you want to apply into DDS program, you get proactive and you start collecting these documents. Now pointers, all your documents must be in English. If they are not, get them translated. You can translate them on your own. Do go to ece.org and watch their videos. It will give you an idea what are original reports, how do you attest them, which documents are permitted and which are not permitted. In nutshell, they need your original documents, or they need documents stamped by the same body who issued them in first place. They could be photocopy or they could be duplicate copies of original documents, and they should have a stamp and they should be in a sealed envelope. Third step is to take your exams. You will at least have to take 2 exams. The first, Toefl. Toefl is Test of English as Foreign Language. You want to take the internet-based Toefl test. INBDE Toefl can be taken in Prometric centers and you book your own dates. The cost of taking this test varies from location to location. You are right around $250 for most locations. Now, for this exam, you need not come to US or Canada. You can take exams where you reside, there TOEFL offers multiple centers, and I'm pretty sure there is one located near you. It will test you on reading, writing, speaking, and listening skills. Each section is graded out of 30 points, so the maximum score is 120 points, and anything above 100 points is considered a decent score. It is not impossible to get into dental schools below if you score below 100, but it is highly advisable to get a score above 100. Now you can take this exam as many times as you want. Let's break down the different sections. Reading. You will be given around 3 to 4 passages, and each passage will be divided into paragraphs, and there will be questions based on each paragraph. Listening. You will listen to 3 or 4 conversations. There will be around 6 questions on each section. Now these are very simple conversations between 2 people. My suggestion is that you must visit Toefl INBDE website and watch the videos that they have prepared for each section: reading, listening, writing, and speaking. You will get a ton of information from them, and you will feel very prepared and get a wholesome idea about this exam. Speaking. You are given a situation and then you are asked your opinion about it. That's one example how they test you on speaking. You are given about 15 to 20 seconds to prepare your notes, and then you are given about 45 to 60 seconds to speak about it. For example, you are given a question like, some people like spending time indoors versus others like spending time outdoors. Which one do you prefer? Something simple as that. Fourth is writing. You are supposed to write 2 essays. One would be short essay and one would be long essay. The long essay would be around your personal experience or your opinion about the topic they give you. The short essay would be about something they would ask you to write from a short lecture that you will listen and read. Basically, it's a very easy exam. They are not testing you on your accent. They are basically testing you how you can formulate your thought process and comprehend them in writing, listening, speaking. For preparation, I personally bought a Barron's book myself. I found it very helpful. I also enrolled myself for some online tests. There are so many. You could just Google and just pick any online test. What it would do, it would configure you to stay within the time limit. Prep time, I would say anywhere from 2 to 3 days to up till 1 week maximum. Second exam, INBDE. INBDE is Integrated National Dental Board Examination. This is the exam that will test you on both your clinical knowledge and your basic sciences. About 56% of this exam will test you on your clinical knowledge, and the rest would test you on your basic sciences. They will test you on the subjects that you've already read in your dental school. In addition, they will also test you on ethics, professionalism, and jurisprudence. It is a multiple choice based question test. It goes over for 2 days. The first day has about 340 questions, and the first day has mostly standalone questions and some are case-based questions. The second day is mostly case-based question. They will give you a patient box notifying you the patient chief complaint, medical history, dental history, their period chart, radiographs if applicable. They are all given to aid you to come up with the right answer. This test costs around $1,100, excluding the travel cost and visa cost if applicable, since this exam can only be given in US and Canada. This is just a pass and fail exam. Anybody who scores over 75 percentile, not percentile, is considered pass. Now, if you fail, then you are given the score. Each attempt is notified on your report. You could give up to 5 attempts, and each attempt has to be separated by 90 days. Now, prep time varies from different person to person depending on the pattern of study. I would say an average of 3 to 4 hours should be logged in each day. How to prepare? Your textbooks would be your go-to reference. I personally studied dental decks, first aid book, and I also reviewed Tufts for pharmacology. Dental decks are just a giant set of flashcards which have like ton of knowledge about important topics. I personally did not like them because they were very haphazard in how the information was given, but having said that, I couldn't have given the exam without their help. I have not personally used it, but I have heard good things about Dental Mastery app as well. If I did not mention before, you could book your own exam dates, and my advice is that you book your exam 2 to 3 weeks after you have started your first revision round. This will give you a lot of confidence going into taking this exam. I would highly advise that you go onto JCNDE website, and they have some practice questions listed there. You go and browse them. You will get an idea about the question type. To apply for the exam, you want to go to JCNDE, the Joint Commission National Dental Board Examination website, and get an eligibility letter. To get an eligibility letter, you fill out a simple form, which we will do in a minute. Basically, you're filling a form and you're submitting your fee, which is around $1,100. And in a couple days, you get an eligibility letter. And after that, you go to same website and schedule your exam for the test centers near you. Now let's go to the website together and see how to apply for it. For INBDE, you type in JCNDE, click the first link, go to INBDE and scroll to apply for INBDE. Enter your Dentpin and your password and click login. Then you fill out this form with all your personal details and hit continue. Fill in your educational status. Dental graduate of a non-accredited dental school, the year of graduation, dental school that you attended. If it's listed, click it. If not, then school not listed. Not taken this exam before. Do you need any special provision? No. You can select up to 3 recipients free of charge, and the report will be sent to them. For now, I just selected Georgia Board of Dentistry for demonstration purposes. And then I hit continue. Okay, so it's telling me my total amount and that it will send to 1 additional recipient that I chose, and then I hit continue. On next page, I will agree to the terms and sign in my name and hit continue. Then it will take me to the payment information, and I will go ahead and pay. Those who haven't graduated yet, are in 4th year, watch this step. You go back to the same website and hit INBDE certificate of eligibility. This opens this form which you need to get stamped by your dean or registrar if you want to give this exam early. To schedule, you go back to same website and select scheduling, then hit schedule here. Then it takes me to this page. Here I select the state where I prefer to give my exam and click next, and then go down. It will show me what type of IDs I need. I need a primary ID and I need a secondary ID. The primary ID could be the one that has your photograph, government issued. It could be a passport, your citizenship card, your driving license. You also need a secondary ID, which could be a credit card or your student ID, but that should have a photo of you. Once I know all of this, then I'll select next. I read through this and I consent, select next. Then I write my eligibility ID, which I should have gotten by now. It takes about a couple days to get the eligibility ID after you pay the fee, and once you have that, you can just fill this and lay your last name and you are in. You can give the exam on your scheduled date. That's it. Now once you have the exam reports from your INBDE and Toefl, ECE and Dentpin, now you are set to apply into dental schools. How you do that you'll do through CAAPID. CAAPID is an online portal in which the schools that offer advanced standing program for international dentists participate. Almost all the schools participate, and it's a common portal where they can review your applications from. Now some schools do not participate and you need to apply to them directly. A couple of those schools would be UT San Antonio and Minnesota, University of Minnesota. If there are more schools that don't participate in CAAPID, I cannot think of them at this moment. Please leave me a comment below if you know of more schools. That would be helpful to others. CAAPID portal opens every year in March and closes in February of next year. So you have that time frame to apply into CAAPID. However, every school has its own deadline. So if you are applying late, then you may be past deadlines of many schools. Now, why would anybody apply late? They apply late for a number of reasons. Sometimes they're not prepared enough. Sometimes they start prepping for the exams after the CAAPID cycle has opened. Sometimes their application is not complete and they are waiting on some documents. So I cannot emphasize enough how much proactivity would help you. Collect all the documents, give your exams beforehand, and then fill out the CAAPID application. Applying soon in CAAPID is one very important aspect in this whole process, if not the most important in my opinion. I explained this in my previous video, but let me take a minute and explain it again. Everybody who's applying into CAAPID is a dentist just like yourselves, and they have taken same number of exams just like yourselves. There is only one way that you can win this. If you are the one the school is looking for, and no school will know if you are the one if you do not apply within their deadline. So apply early so that maximum schools can see you, and maybe you are the one who a specific school is looking for. CAAPID application is a very lengthy process. For me personally, it took me about a month to complete this. This application requires a lot of things. One is letter of recommendation. You need these letters from dentists whom you trust to give you a good word on your professional and personal qualities. These would be great to procure from dentists whom you've associated in recent past, either in your student life or in your work life. CAAPID reaches out to the evaluators you choose via email, and they then submit their recommendations. This is a preferred way of submitting the letters of recommendation. So you need to inform your evaluators beforehand. I would say as soon as you give your INBDE, it takes about 2 weeks to get the results. This will be a great time to tell your evaluators to prepare letter of recommendation so that you're not waiting on them once you are about to fill your CAAPID application. In my case, I flew especially to India to collect all the documents and letter of recommendations because I didn't want anything to withhold me in this process. If you don't want to go into that extreme, I would suggest that start collecting the documents, getting your degree, transcripts, etc. and these letters as soon as you decide you want to pursue dentistry in the US. Second thing among the zillion thing CAAPID needs is your statement of purpose or your personal statement. It is your story. It is a way to show them who you are, why do you want to do dentistry. Stay within the prescribed word limits and have an organized flow of thoughts. You can write on the lines of why are you so passionate about dentistry, what the future holds for you, why do you deserve a chance, and why do you want to study further. Remember, the schools don't know anything about you beyond your credentials and your reports. So letter of recommendation and SOP would give them an opportunity to get more interested in you. For CAAPID application, visit the website ada.org/CAAPID. It gives you a ton of information how to prepare yourselves for it. It has done a lot of work for you to feel prepared and start collecting the things that you need. It has also given you the list of schools that participate in it with the deadlines, etc. Now, how to fill this application? I really don't want to go into detail about it because I found some very useful videos on this topic already on YouTube. So I'm going to rather put their link here and save our time so that I can complete and give you all the information that I need to in least possible time. So look out for their link somewhere right here, and I'll also put in the description box below. You want to understand that some schools are on rolling basis and some are not. Rolling basis means that they review the applications as they come. So they don't necessarily wait till the deadline of the school to review all the applications. What it means for you is that if they get a bunch of interesting profiles early on in the process, they would they would shortlist them, and there will be very few spots left for the other applicants to be filled in for their intended interview list. So you want to be quick to get reviewed. So again, what the point I'm making is that you don't want to wait till the end to submit your application. Now this does not mean that you rush and submit incomplete application. That would be a total waste. And that does not mean that you give your exams in a rush. You really want to pass in the first attempt, because the chances of being called for interview and bench test are better for those who pass in first attempt. Now the first school you select in the CAAPID application will cost you around $259, and every additional school will cost you $112. After you submit these applications, the school will email you back for supplemental application. They might want additional documents or a questionnaire. You also submit supplemental application fee here. So let's say an average of about $200 for each school. Now once the CAAPID application is done, the schools will review your application over a period of some months, and you wait for being shortlisted to be called for interviews and bench test. Some schools conduct only interviews, and some schools conduct both interviews and bench test. Now dentists, this is a real deal. Once you're called for interview and bench test, this is your time to shine. Now you own this time and you own your destiny going forward. So you want to be prepared very well for interviews and bench test. Bench test is a skill test on typodont, and everybody is very prepared for this. So you want to ace this. You want to prepare as much as you can. Have a little home setup for this. If you have an office access, really good. Now I will put a link here and the description box below on a video that I found on YouTube, how to set up a home setup. The home setup could cost you up to $1,000. It could cost more or less depending on what do you want to invest in, the type of tools, the number of teeth, the equipment, etc. Once the school calls you for bench test, their bench test fee differs from school to school. It could be between $200 to $600. The bench tests are testing you on crown preps, class 2 amalgam preps, wax exercises, indirect bonded restoration preps. Some schools go beyond and ask class middle partial design. They could ask you to restore teeth. They could ask you to do more things. They will give you information once you're called for bench tests. And schools vary in how they hold the bench test. Some schools give you a detailed explanation of everything that they would ask, and some schools like you to guess. For example, USC, where I graduated from, likes you to guess. They give you a list of instruments that you need, and you can guess very well what they will ask. Denver, for example, give you a detailed information about the type of margins they need, etc. And UTESCA, URI School of San Antonio, they hold an orientation day before the bench test, and they even show you the type of preps they like. I really liked going into that orientation. So every school is different. About the interviews, interviews are not technical interviews. The interviewers are a bunch of very friendly people who just want to know more about you because they're interested in you. So it could be a one-to-one interview, it could be a panel interview. So be yourself, be relaxed as much as possible. They want to know about your past work life, your future aspirations, etc. I plan to make future videos circling more around the bench tests. So please keep an eye for them. One very important thing is that you want to be able to critique your own preps. Only then you can get better and better at it. I have made a video already to critique your own crown preps. I'll be sure to link that also here. Please have a look for that as well. For prepping, you want to follow standard conservative dentistry or operative dentistry and prosthodontic books. You can never go wrong with that. Now what to do after this? After this, your work is done. You just wait and hope to get accepted. Once you get an acceptance call, be prepared to submit a good chunk of money for confirming your acceptance. That could vary between $3,000 to $10,000. With this, I conclude my video. If you found value in this video, please subscribe to my channel And leave me a comment if you have any question. If you want to message me directly, now follow me on Instagram and DM me there. If you leave me a comment, I'll be sure to get back to you as soon as possible. Bye bye and have a blessed day, everybody. Thank you.